Hello everyone. I'm here to share my story. I won't reveal my real name or the names of the other people involved because I need to protect my identity, as those involved might hear this. Please don't judge me. I'm not proud of what I've done. I've suffered a lot because of it and am paying the consequences. I'll call myself Rita. I've always been ambitious and extremely competitive. Since primary school, I wanted to be the best at everything and studied tirelessly to achieve that goal. My parents were always proud of me and encouraged me to excel. This was good, but only up to a point. Eventually, I became afraid of disappointing them and felt I could never meet their expectations. I took theater, drawing, and ballet classes, excelling in all these school and extracurricular activities. However, my competitive behavior ended up pushing everyone away because I saw anyone as a potential adversary. Over time, no one wanted to play or talk with me, causing antipathy among the other children. Inevitably, I ended up friendless, and my days became increasingly sad. Until in 8th grade I met Letitia, a very sociable and cheerful girl who quickly became popular at school. One morning, while I was sitting alone on the steps eating my lunch, she approached me and said I shouldn't be alone, smiling and sitting next to me. I was surprised because I didn't expect that from a popular girl. From then on, we became friends. My parents didn't approve of our friendship, claiming she would distract me from my studies. But for the first time in my life, I ignored their opinion because Letitia's friendship made me feel good. As time went by, our friendship grew more intense, but a feeling of jealousy began to grow in me. Letitia was very beautiful and frequently attracted everyone's attention. Although I was also beautiful, she was very cheerful and communicative. Whenever we went out, guys would ask for her number or invite her out, making me feel invisible, which upset me. Letitia started dating a guy named Pedro, and I felt very lonely because she spent most of her time with him. Sometimes we hung out together, but I couldn't stand the idea of her having a boyfriend while I didn't. Their relationship lasted a year, and even after it ended, they remained friends. Letitia and I went back to going out alone, but I was no longer comfortable. At parties, she would hook up with someone while I remained alone. My mom kept telling me to distance myself from Letitia, warning that if I continued the friendship, I would never find a boyfriend because Letitia would always steal the attention of all the guys. This upset me, and I even believed it could happen. I seriously considered distancing myself from her, but that would mean being alone again, and I wasn't ready for that. In 2005, a guy named Rodrigo moved into our neighborhood. When I first saw him, I was enchanted. It was love at first sight, and I wanted him for myself, even though I knew it would be difficult. One day, returning home under a torrential rain, Rodrigo offered me his umbrella. I was surprised and excited to find out that he would also attend the same college as me. However, right after this encounter, I got sick and couldn't see him for a week. Even while sick, I got up early just to see him leave his house. When I returned to classes, I hoped to meet him, but when I arrived at college, I saw Rodrigo and Letitia kissing. I felt betrayed. Although Letitia didn't know about my feelings for Rodrigo, I went back home crying, and my mom said I needed to win Rodrigo over, encouraging me to compete for him. The next morning, I decided I would take Rodrigo from Letitia. Over time, I noticed that he was jealous and made a sly comment, causing discomfort between them. Letitia, without realizing, introduced me to Rodrigo, and shortly after, invited me to her birthday party. My mom bought me a sexy dress to shine at the party, but Rodrigo only had eyes for Letitia. Frustrated, I went back home crying. My mom told me I couldn't give up and that it was time to move to Plan B. The next day, we went to a distant place where I met a sorcerer who promised to help me win Rodrigo over. Despite the warnings about the consequences of black magic, I agreed to proceed with the spell. After the ritual, I tried to get closer to Rodrigo, but he remained in love with Letitia. I started to feel bad about everything I was doing, but I didn't stop. Over time, Letitia went to take a course out of town, and I took the opportunity to get closer to Rodrigo. Even with the spell, he still talked a lot about Letitia, which irritated me. I asked my mom to return to the sorcerer, and he performed a new, more powerful ritual. In the end, Letitia and Pedro kissed during the course, and Rodrigo saw the video, becoming devastated. I pretended to be by his side and lied to harm Letitia. Rodrigo and I started dating, but I knew he was with me because of the spell. Over time, the spells began to affect my health. I became increasingly debilitated and finally told my mom everything. She cried and said I needed to stop the spells because they were killing me. Scared, I agreed to stop. This is my story. I'm not proud of the choices I made and am paying a high price for it. I hope you can understand and not judge me too harshly.